Welcome to my channel. I am so excited today because we are in the middle of a crazy blizzard snowstorm. So I thought it was the perfect day to make a cup of coffee and go through a bunch of books that we just got from a book sale nearby. So grab a cup of coffee or a tea and let's get into these books. Okay, so I am very excited. The first book is Joy for Beginners, and I had never heard of this book. The author is Erica Bauermeister, and this is about a woman who survives a very critical illness, and she gets together with a group of 6 very close friends, and they're all having a great time, having a girls' weekend, and they kind of dare her to go out of her comfort zone and go whitewater rafting. And she's like terrified. She's like, there's no way that I'm doing this. But then the friends decide to make a pact for that year that everyone needs to do at least one thing that scares them in life. So I just think this sounded really uplifting and heartfelt, and if you've ever heard of the community of Yes Theory, the YouTube channel, it kind of gave me that vibes of like seeking discomfort and doing things out of your element. So I thought this was a really good one to start 2024. The next book that I found, which I was really excited about, is Orange is the New Black. And it's so funny because I watched this religiously on Netflix and absolutely loved the series. And I knew that it was based on a real story and everything like that, but I had no idea, which is kind of silly of me, that it was a book and she wrote about her entire experience. So this is Piper's book. And obviously she's talking about how she was sent to a federal prison for 15 months in America to do with like drug money and things that happened in her past. So this goes into all of her stories, everything that the show was based on, and her experiences while she was there for those 15 months. So I feel like this is gonna be like really juicy, really raw, and potentially triggering, but I feel like it's gonna be a really good story, and the fact that it is based on her life is really cool. The next book that I found was by Robin Carr, and if any of you have seen the show Virgin River on Netflix, which is an absolute favorite of mine, it's a guilty pleasure. It's just so kind of like Hallmarky, but it's like, I don't find it personally as cheesy as some Hallmark movie types. But I saw this and I had never heard of this book before, The House on Olive Street. So I'm really excited for this one. This one says, when a group of writers loses a member, a summer spent sorting through her things offers the perfect escape for her friends who loved and miss her. So I just think, again, her style of writing, it's gonna have some like heartache, it's gonna be warming. I feel like this is just gonna be a really cozy read for this winter. So the next book my husband actually found at the book fair, and it is The Book Thief. And I have never actually read this book before, and I have heard so many amazing things. And I feel like there was a lot of people who read this in school, but this is about a woman in 1939 in Germany who finds a book on the ground, and from there, I believe the story just spirals because it is technically book thievery, but it goes into her love of reading and words and books. So I think this is going to be a really interesting read, and I'm glad that he found this one there. So the next book that I picked up, funny enough, I grabbed it because of the cover. I had no idea what this was, but it is A House in the Sky by Amanda Lindhout and Sarah Corbett. And I could not believe when I picked this up that I had never heard of this book. This is about a Canadian journalist who is from Calgary, and she went to Somalia in 2008 and actually got abducted and held captive for over a year. And this whole book is her entire experience and how she made her way through that, the trials, the things she had to do, to just make it through day to day is insane. And I cannot even imagine how scary, heartbreaking, just all of the emotions. I'm hoping there's like threads, of connections that she was able to make along the way to kind of keep some sort of sanity. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this, and the fact that I picked this up and I was like, I didn't even read the inside, and I was like, I really like the cover, but I was like, I don't know, put it back down. And then my husband ended up picking it up, and I was like, I think we should grab this. Then I read the inside and I was like, we need to read this, especially living in Canada. I mean, I would have been probably too young in 2008 to really have learned about what was happening in this. So I think now as an adult, this will be a really good read and really eye-opening. And lastly, just to kind of hopefully make things a little bit lighter, even though I think she has had a lot of trials in her life, but it is the Shania Twain biography, and I'm really excited about this. Obviously, being a fellow Canadian, I don't know that much about her life. I know she's gone through a lot of trials. I've seen her documentary on Netflix that came out a year or two ago, and I just thought it was so fascinating. I love her music. This is so like 90s kid nostalgia, growing up in this time, listening to Shania Twain on car rides. So I think I'm gonna really enjoy this book, and I'm excited just to learn more about her life. So yeah, so overall we got 6 books, and we paid $6. These books, none of them were over $2. They were all between 50 cents and $2, supporting a local library. And I just couldn't believe the prices and just the amount of books and newer books that were there. I've been really big lately on using the local libraries, using the Libby app, and going to like used book sales rather than buying new. Just a personal preference. Books are also very expensive these days, I find. Like this one was supposed to be $29.99. Obviously it does have a 40% off sticker for Walmart on this one, but I think this one was like $1 at the book sale. So yeah, I'm really excited to read all these books, and I will be back once I finish them to give you reviews on them. So I hope you enjoyed, and stay cozy.